Hello and welcome to another English video. Today we will talk about how to use past simple and past continuous. In Czech, použití minulého, času prostého a průběhového. First of all, let's compare past simple and past continuous. The main difference is that we use past simple to talk about finished actions, and we use past continuous to talk about repeated actions. For example, I looked at the picture and I was looking at the picture. You can see the difference in translation. I looked, podívali jsem se na obrázek. I was looking, díval jsem se na obrázek. I looked once, but I was looking for a certain amount of time. I was looking for a few minutes, I was looking for a few hours, but still was looking. Another example, I jumped, I was jumping. I jumped only once, skočil jsem. I was jumping several times, skákal jsem. So that's the main difference. Another one, I watched TV yesterday. I was watching TV yesterday at 5 o'clock. When we know when the action happened, and we know the day or month or a year, we use past simple. But when you know the specific time, for example here it happened at 5 o'clock, we have to use past continuous. Now we will talk about some rules that will tell us whether to use past simple or past continuous. The first rule is when two actions happened at the same time. We have an example. My mother was doing the dishes while my father was vacuuming the floor at 12 o'clock. We can see that at 12 o'clock my mother was doing the dishes and at the same time, 12 o'clock, my father was vacuuming the floor. Because it both happened at 12 o'clock at the same time, we use past continuous for both actions. My mother was doing and my father was vacuuming. The next rule, when two actions happened one after another. Here we have an example. My mother did the dishes and then my father vacuumed the floor. We can see that Mom did the dishes at about 12 o'clock and then my father vacuumed the floor at 12:30. Because it didn't happen at the same time, but first she did the dishes and then he vacuumed the floor, we have to use past simple. The last rule is when we combine both tenses in one sentence. Here we have an example. I was phoning my mother when I dropped the phone. In the first part, we have past continuous. I was phoning my mother. I was talking to her for several minutes, and I suddenly dropped the phone. Because I was phoning was continuous action, it was happening for a certain amount of time, we use past continuous, was phoning. But I suddenly dropped the phone, because it happened suddenly, it's a sudden action, and then I use past simple. I dropped the phone. It's the same sentence as I was walking down the street when it started to rain. Alright, that's all about the rules, and now it's your turn to show me what you've learned. Here you have 6 sentences. Your task is to fill in the blanks with verbs in brackets and use past simple or past continuous. You can pause the video now, fill in the exercise, and then I will tell you the correct answers. Okay, let's take a look at the solution. First sentence. We were eating dinner at 8 p.m. last night. We use past simple because we know the specific time, 8 p.m. Number 2. We were watching TV when we heard a loud noise. We combine both tenses because I was watching TV for some amount of time and suddenly I heard a noise. The continuous action, were watching. Sudden action, heard a noise. Sentence number 3. Last year, I visited Paris and Rome. We use only past simple because it happened last year, but we don't know the exact time. Number 4. Yesterday, I went to the post office, bought some fruit at the supermarket, and read a book in the park in the afternoon. All the actions, go, buy and read, are put in past simple, because one action happened after another. First, I went to the post office, then I bought some fruit, and then I read a book. Number 5. It was a day in December. Snow was falling, children were singing carols, and people were doing their Christmas shopping. Be is put in past simple because it doesn't exist in past continuous. We use was or were. In the next part, snow was falling, children were singing, and people were doing the shopping. All these actions happened at the same time. So that's why we use past continuous. And the last sentence. They were having lunch when the police came to the door. It's the same as sentence number 2. The first part is a continuous action. They were having lunch when suddenly police came to the door. So therefore we combine both tenses, past continuous and past simple. That's all for today. Thank you for watching the video and see you next time.